how did Dummy Toys in 2015 get their start, and how did you start the band?
So about 2015 to 2014 to 15, another band in China, in Qingdao, called Demerit, and the vocal is a friend of the band, and he has a suggestion because he always organized the show, called Qingdao Calling, every year, every New Year Eve, something like this. It's a big show. It's something like a festival, and then he has a suggestion, why don't you girls play a band together? And at the same time, the drummer, Qing, she also have a same idea. So that's why they started. Yeah, that's how to begin. Yeah.
Debut LP, Not a Puppet, it contains very powerful messages of not being controlled. How does that statement impact your music?
It's impossible in China if you play band is totally not being control. It's impossible. You always being control somehow, but the girls could always find a way, like the skip the censorship, something like, for example, the lyric is in English. And when they on the stage, the singing is not really clearly to everybody.
Talking about the musical journey from 2015, how has your band's music evolved in your own view to the new album, Boris Nightmare?
So from 2015, it's about they started the band like 3 months, and they play the show. A friend of the band, they just recording at the show, and they afterward, and they also recording the EP. And in 2 years later, and because the old the vocal, she quit the band. Have to quit the band because of job or something, and the new vocal Queen joined the band until now. And right now, this year they also just released their new album, War is Nightmare.
然后我们也做了一些新的音乐，有了一些新的想法。然后除了今年是我们的是我们新专辑吧，第二张专辑，第二张全长专辑这样的。
Let's talk about the new album, War is Nightmare. What kind of influences and experiences kind of led to this album?
So the new album is more powerful than before the old one. And this album is about like the different informations, something like War is Nightmare, like the same name available because just like what they said, and also some songs about like anti the domestic violence, and something about what happens in society in China, and they just think about that and write a song in lyrics.
What are your view on China's punk scene? And is it different from city to city, from example from your hometown of Qingdao to Shanghai or Beijing? How does it differ from city to city? How do you see the punk scene today in China?
So let's go back to 2000. Yes, around 2000, that time in China has a lot of punk bands, and in that time the best punk scene is in Beijing, then it's in Wuhan, and it's also North Chinese punk is different like South Chinese punk, and 2010. Around 2010 is less punk bands than before. Yes, something like this. What she said, and she said always also this is what she start to listen is really like.
其实 像我觉得，比如我可能也听别的音乐风格现在，然后但是我如果做乐队的话，这个风格是我最了解的，也挺喜欢的。
So back to old time, everybody want to go to Peking to play a band because really the best thing was there. But now it's a little bit different because every city have their own thing there, and everybody. Yes, they can choose use like internet and to spread more informations. So it's already different like before. Many cities have their own punk scene and punk bands.
都只能通过一些非常传统的方式。那现在的话，大家网上啊就非常的方便，所以说到处都有非常棒的乐队，信息也更发达一些。
Yes, Xiaoniao said not everybody right now want to go to Peking because internet you can always like recording your music and upload on the internet so everybody can listen your music. That's why every city have their own punk scene. Yeah, cities are different, yes, but she still think punk are punks and yeah.
各个城市的朋克有什么不同？其实我自己没有觉得有太多的不同，就大家都是喜欢这个才做这个音乐的吧。
She said actually it's the opposite. And she thinks in China it's more and more difficult to make underground music or punk music or some art because everybody won't be the commercial. And yes, it's really little space for underground punks.
已经越来越少了，但是这样也挺好的。真正能够坚持做下去的，还是大浪淘沙吧。还是真朋克吧。我希望是这样。
Your songs have a strong sentiments about rejecting norms and rejecting expectations. So if we could just have like background stories for one of the two, like the lead songs of the album in your mind.
It's, for example, it's the lead song, War is Nightmare. They want to throw this song to tell everybody. They think, whatever which position you choose, once you start the war, you have no justice. Yeah, you just hurt the world, the people.
不管你以什么形式来发动的战争，它都没有正义可言，它都是一个政治行为。然后它会成为所有人的噩梦，只要经历过这场战争。所以，不管你以什么形式来发动这个战争，就不要谈正义，就是给大家带来的只有噩梦。
What kind of influences and are they coming from outside, and how do they mix with I don't know, being like a pioneer of Chinese punk?
It's really hard to answer this question. So whatever, like, for example, American punk, England punk, or German punk, or Japanese punk, for the band, they are all foreigners punk. As a dummy toys, it's really hard to answer which influence from which country's punks. But of course, they have influence from their favorite band. Yeah, the band that they like.
What's the message for new people, young people who wanna also put up a punk band?
其实我觉得就是
Xiaoniao just said, actually, they don't care what the young people think about or what they want come to be. But she said, be a punk means be the independent thinking. Yes, and they can be themselves.
不要别人说什么，他们就是什么，他们应该多想一想。
It's great to have you guys here, but what's next? What's the next thing?
So next dream is like they wish dummy toys could play longer and because they saw a lot of band in Europe, they are not so young, but they still the people is not so young anymore, but they still play the band. So they wish they could also play the band as long as they can.